What is going on, everybody? It's Alex, come back at you with another video. And today we are finally wrapping up this mock draft of round 3 of 3. So if you guys are seeing this for the first time, we got rounds 1 and 2 already up. So feel free to check those out. Had a little bit of a break. It is finals time. My parents are also moving. So a little bit of a time crunch right now, but we're going to get you guys out some really good content. Of course, never going to miss the mock drafts. Of course, I might even be dropping 2 videos today, maybe 2 videos tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. So starting off with number 65 pick. You guys are new, of course. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Patriots. I actually did start this video forgetting that I did not have, of course, my mic input. So a little bit annoying, but bottom line, we look through the cornerback position. At this point, the only guy I could see being a Patriots dude is Noah Daniels. I just think that he's more of a Patriots type of guy. Just injuries. I'm not going to be pulling the trigger at 65 for him. But there is a safety on the board where if it weren't for injuries, he would be a top 18 player for me, as you guys can look back and see on my way too early top 32. That's Jalen Catalon here. This guy he might be returning. In all fairness, I think this dude could just light it up, maybe stay one more year, get healthy, and then straight up be a probably top 15 pick in the next year's draft. You look at it, of course, TDM might be wrong, but I assume they're going to be right here. Redshirt sophomore, rangy, lasers, like lightning speed at the safety position. Really damn good ball tracking as well. I love Jalen Catalon. This dude is like a missile to the ball. And even if he can't tackle as well as a guy like Jordan Battle, who's an absolute beast, he still can make a huge impact. Just to make sure everybody knows, Brand Smith, I believe, is going to return. Just you don't have top 15 hype and then just drop to the 3rd round and want to be able to come out in the draft. Would not make sense. So Verone McKinley deserves some respect here as well. This guy's an absolute monster. I just don't know if that's a guy that Bill Belichick would go after versus a guy who shows that he puts 100% out every single play. As long as he stays healthy, I think he'll be perfectly fine. You have some really damn good mentors there as well. Jalen Catalon, just take the best player available, and that's usually what Bill Belichick does. Number 66 with the Houston Texans. Wide receiver is still a big issue. I believe, went Desmond Ridder as well as Evan Neal so far. Wide receiver is a huge issue. I just don't really like. I don't like Zay Flowers that much. Jalen Tolbert's the only guy I could see, and to be 100% fair, I don't know how much of an upgrade that's going to be over the wide receivers you have day one. Maybe it's a great investment for the long run, but we still have some excellent edge players on the board. I mean, we still have guys like Sam Williams on the board, which probably going to be this pick. Logan Hall. I'm not as high on Logan Hall as maybe like TDN is, but Nolan Smith, he's only a 230 pounder pretty much left on the board. Not for this team schematically, but I mean, if we're going to be 100% fair, Sam Williams deserves to be up in this conversation. He does make a very big impact all the time when he's on the field. I do like him a lot, and he deserves to be a 3rd round pick. So this is a team that would probably go after somebody who might not be on the same exact level as somebody like Trevon Walker, but I think that he's the best on the board right now that's not named Nolan Smith, and he's the best that fits the scheme. So whether you go corner here, whether you go an edge and Sam Williams, we are going to be selecting him, but feel free to let me know what you guys would have done. Now the Jets, we've had one heck of a draft. So I want us to look back. We got Zach Harrison, Daniel Failele, as well as, of course, the 2 best defensive backs in the class, Derek Stingley as well as Kyle Hamilton. Derek Stingley might not be as good as Sauce Gardner, but you can argue with me all you want on that. Tight end is something I really want to get for you guys because the tight ends have not gone off the board yet. That's just the way this draft falls. Isaiah Likely is on the board, and for a team that could be trying to get rid of Denzel Mims, and that could be a really good spot to get a guy who has that wide receiver-esque build, but also can play tight end. You look at the guys that you've already brought in, and if you want to copy and paste what you already have, you can go after Jeremy Ruckert. That makes sense. Trey McBride is also on the board, though. To be fair, he makes a little more sense than Isaiah Likely for this team because you guys are actually looking for a tight end. If you're looking at a team like Jacksonville, Likely makes a little bit more sense just because he could be that more of that receiving threat. But I'm actually going to go Trey McBride here. I don't know why TDN ranks him so poorly, but this dude's an absolute beast, and we're not going to shy away from it. 68, we got the Vikings on the board. Now, this is a team that desperately does need a corner. And there's some good ones on the board too. There are some really good corners on the board. I would say Mikael Wright deserves a lot more respect than he's getting. Don't think that's going to be our pick exactly. Jermaine Waller, probably going to be the pick. And just a lengthy, rangy corner that could make a pretty big impact on this team. Again, Noah Daniels is in there as well. You could look at a slot wide receiver. I think Blake Prohl will actually go into that role and be able to play very well. So, it is kind of up to where you'd want to go. That being said, you could still go Verone McKinley here. I want to see, who did we take last round? Because it's very interesting. We took Daxton Hill. Daxton Hill is more of a slot safety though. So I don't know if he exactly replaces the role that Verone McKinley is going to go into, but at the same time, is it really realistic to go safety? I mean, it could be, but Daxton Hill isn't. Let's look at Daxton Hill's weight. You got 193 here, and then you got 192 there. So I just want to see if one of the guys reached over 200 for some reason. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this could be a good spot to go edge as well. You have a big guy like Logan Hall here. Might not be a bad idea. He's 275 pounds. You could go Zach Carter here, 285. He moves very well for it. If you want to do that, I just think he's more of a 3-4 defensive end than a 4-3. So take it as you will. We're actually going to go Logan Hall here. Houston's gotten a bit of hype from their edge class, and it's going to continue. Logan Hall, I don't think he's that bad. He has the right weight. He has the right speed. He has some very good highlights on tape. I just want to see a little more consistency, and that's something that more tape study might reveal. Now, a team like Washington here would certainly love to get a guy like Verone McKinley. Free safety is probably the one thing that you guys really need to patch up. And you now have Cameron Curl and Verone McKinley running that backfield. I think that you guys just hit a home run. Giants, this could be a good spot to look at wide receiver. But do you guys need to? No. I think that wide receiver would be a terrible position to go after. I just think that the value of wide receivers past this ain't too great. Running back. I will continue harping on running back. I will continue harping on offensive line. That is the way. Also tight ends. So I'm probably going to go tight end here because I could see I can't see a running back going in the next few picks. I think being able to secure your claim on a tight end is better. Jeremy Ruckert just feels a little bit more of what you guys are trying to search for, more of a stable tight end, similar to what you have right now with Kyle Rudolph. So for me, I'm going to be going that way. I know that you guys haven't minded it in the past, so that's where we go. 71 with San Fran. Unfortunately, the corners are not too bueno compared to what I wanted them to be, right? Like I would love to have had, where's he at? Martin Emerson go to us right here. We got Jermaine Johnson, really good impact day one. I think Jermaine Waller is an excellent addition. I feel like this team, if they were at the position that they were originally at, I think that was 12, they could have probably tried to move back and select a guy like Caleb Farley. You do need a boundary corner. Jermaine Waller brings all that to the table. It's a 3rd round pick. It's a really good deal. So I like it. Let me know what you guys think. Eagles, I don't think you need a corner right now. I think looking at offensive line wouldn't be a terrible idea with a guy like Ricky Stromberg. Like I know that one of my resident Eagles fans in the comments section does not mind Ricky Stromberg to the team. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take him because he likes it, but it does help in being able to feel like it's not a terrible decision. I don't think that Kelsey is going to last much longer. Then you have Landon Dickerson to take his position, or Landon Dickerson can continue playing at a very high level where he's at right now. I don't think that Suamalu is the answer at left guard. He has 1 year left on his contract. So getting a guy like Ricky Stromberg might be the right guy to develop for a year if you want him to, behind Kelsey, behind Suamalu. Do whatever the hell you want. I'm a big fan of Ricky Stromberg. Arkansas's interior offensive line plays at a very high level. So let me know what you guys think about that one. The Giants are back on the board, and I think we went offensive line last time. We could look at the defensive front here with a guy like Perrion Winfrey. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. He is the best pass rushing interior on the board. You look at teams in their division, the Eagles, depending on the team that comes out, they could either be run or pass heavy. The Cowboys, they're very balanced in their approach. And then obviously Washington, God only knows what the hell Washington's going to do. But It's a team where if you are not too concerned about the run and want to have one weak point, Perrion Winfrey is an excellent pass rushing specialist, and he can do it from the interior. You could also look at a guy like Zachary Carter to be on the outside or interior. I think I actually might like that quite a bit. Running back is a huge need, but I honestly really like the running backs down the line. If you miss out on a running back here, right? So obviously I like taking Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is an excellent running back. I think he's worth a round 2 pick. If you miss out on Breece Hall, let's just say you're in the next round. You could pick up a guy right here like James Cook, right? Ty Chandler. These guys who are really good in RBBC role. And I think that if you're able to select a high-end edge player, you can either go that route or you can end up getting Boye Mafe, right? Boye Mafe is actually he's a beast, but he's very raw. I think a guy like Zachary Carter might fit what you're looking for a little bit more. You can either drop weight and have him play on the outside, and that could be pretty nasty, but you could also have him play the right role, which is a little bit interior. He has the burst for 285. He's a little bit scary from there. I think we're going to go Zachary Carter here. I just like it. This is an edge class. You can go running back almost every single year. Next year's running back class is ridiculous. I do love my boy right here in Breece Hall. Just, I don't know if it's worth it, knowing full well that this is a draft that the Giants are doing to be able to get themselves into the playoffs. They're doing it to set their team up for the playoffs for the future. So it's not an instant impact type of draft. Zachary Carter has a lot more potential this year than Breece Hall does compared to the running backs next year. 74 with the Jaguars. This could be a spot for Perrion Winfrey, 100%. I do want to continue looking at tackle here, and I want to look at Max Mitchell and Bernard Raymond. I think that Bernard Raymond, he is in the top 29 of PFS board. Don't think that much, but I think he might be worth a second round pick. And that is perfectly fine with me taking him here for the Jaguars. That he's really good at tackle, man. I'm telling you, he played up against LSU and he did a very good job. Very, very good job. So cheers to Bernard Raymond for playing at that high level. Now, the Falcons are sitting here, and again, I'd be looking at wide receiver. I just don't think any of these guys actually adds to what you have already. Again, free agency is a great place to pick up wide receivers. Perrion Winfrey's here. Safety-wise, Brandon Joseph's not here. Again, otherwise, take him in a heartbeat. Tyke Smith, I think your slot situation's perfectly fine for the moment compared to some other issues. Like, again, wide receiver not good enough. I think that the best value, because also offensive line just took the dude who I'd probably take. I think Perrion Winfrey is the best option. He is a dude. He probably does he have any eligibility left? No. I was wondering if he could go back to school. So he's gonna be coming out. He's excellent. It's a pass rusher from the interior. Let him, Marlon Davidson, just continue to grow and just light it up. 76 with the Seattle Seahawks, another team where Bernard Raymond would have been desperately needed for. I could look at them going Mikael Wright. They're right there next to Oregon, next to Washington. They know what the heck's up. I think this is the right move. You go Mikael Wright. He's definitely been underrated compared to what people want out of Mikael Wright. I'm glad TDN isn't completely underrating him anymore. He's a very talented corner. Yes, he lets up passes, but as soon as he gets his head around, then he's going to be much more lethal. He gets picked on by skin tight coverage. So don't know why people hate on Mikael Wright that much. He does have a lot of positives to him. It's not just negatives, like a lot of people try to say. No, number 77. This obviously Tyler Davis. Wait, where's my guy? I think I took him honestly to Tampa. Not Devontae White, Travis Jones here. I took him to the Ravens. I love fitting him here for the Raiders. So fortunately, that's not going to happen. Tackle, we don't have really any true right tackles worth taking anymore. That sucks, right? So that's where we're at right now. Interior defensive line, I just don't know if I'd want to take any of these dudes. Haskell Garrett, certainly an option, but you have some excellent running backs on the board. And there are teams that might be looking for an RBBC back. One of those teams being the Bills. I think the Bills could certainly add one more piece to the running back room, and that's a true power back. And honestly, the value is just too damn good. So I'm going to have the Bills trade up here. They can give the Raiders a good package. They don't usually compete anyways. So let's see. Maybe we can give a 6th round pick to move up. I think that's honestly a fair trade. if I don't know why the simulator, I've had a lot worse trades end up going through. We'll toss in the 7th, and then I was going to try to move back. That didn't work too well. We'll ask for a 7 next year. There you go. Whoop-de-doo. You happy? So we'll see. They accepted the offer. So woo. Yeah. Now we're going to be selecting Zach Charbonnet at UCLA. He's built for RBBCs. Also, I think that he's just an animal. A little bit biased, yes, but I do know everything he does. He's an absolutely excellent competitor, works on his body all the time, and he's a master of his craft. So as long as he stays healthy, he'll be perfectly fine. Number 78 with the Colts. We already addressed corner. Let's go wide receiver here. So you can go Khalil Shakir, Jalen Tolbert, or Romeo Doubs. I think that since we've seen the decline of T.Y. Hilton, Romeo Doubs fits perfectly with what you'd be losing. Paris Campbell is unfortunately very unreliably healthy. And it's just he can't stay healthy. Jalen Tolbert would be fun, and I could definitely see it happening. But Romeo Doubs seems like a guy that would intrigue what the Colts are looking for. Has that burning speed, probably in that 4.3 range. He does actually run pretty well. Excellent ball tracking. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth taking him. For the Colts, this is a team that needs a slot corner. You guys know exactly where I'm going. Tyke Smith out of Georgia. I do really like Tyke Smith. So that's why we're putting him right there. Big addition for the Broncos. Number 80 with the Steelers. I think this is a good spot to go Jalen Tolbert, and that's probably going to be the pick. Just somebody to replace Juju Smith-Schuster. Does fit exactly what you're looking for. I do love Jalen Tolbert. Really good player. That being said, you do need to take a look at the offensive line. And there's guys like Jamari Sawyer who are excellent and definitely need to be considered at this point. But that being said, I think you can go down and get a guy like Ed Ingram versus a guy like Trey Turner. And I think you'd be happier with Jalen Tolbert. The opportunity cost of losing out on Jalen Tolbert was too much for me. 81 with the Browns. This honestly is where I might try to beef up some like a position with depth. That wouldn't be a bad idea because I'm not too excited about any of the options here. But Owen Papo is still on the board. This guy gets heavily underrated, and I don't know why. I really don't. He's a little bit lighter, but he's not like JOK weight. He could definitely play, more of like that Sam role. He's a little bit light for it, but honestly, you're looking at depth right now for this team because they're overstacked. I think they're going to bring back Jadeveon Clowney. So there's no real need for an edge like a Brenton Cox, like a Boye Mafe, Ali Gay, Xavier Thomas, Tyke Smith. Or no, it's Tyreek Smith. We're going to go with the linebacker. We're going to go with Owen Papo here out of Auburn. Hopefully he can put on a little bit of weight. There's another guy out of Auburn that we might be taking, and I'm trying to find him right now. I might have just inched past him too. Zacoby McClain, really good linebacker, needs to be respected as well. We're back with the Raiders, and this could be a good spot to go after a guy like Tyler Davis or Haskell Garrett. I think that's where we do go. A lot of one-year contracts to kind of patch up that position. And Haskell Garrett brings a really good pass rushing presence. Last year, he had a 25% pass rush win rate, and that was like during halfway through the season. So he's able to consistently do it over a long stretch, which is a big plus. Another team that probably would have taken him right here. So I can see him going by mid-third. Now for the Jaguars, I can see him going a tight end, and Isaiah Likely's still on the board. So I'm absolutely taking that. So we're going to be locking that position up. 84 with the Chargers. This is, again, I'm not really seeing a guy who I'm really liking anymore. If Romeo Doubs were here, I'd probably add him to the team because that'd be kind of nasty. I don't know what y'all's hate against a tight end is. I know that you guys say like there's Parham there. He's done a good job. That's great. That is. But they brought in Jared Cook for a reason because they didn't believe in him. And Parham's on a 1-year contract. You do need to stop re-signing people eventually. And there are really good options on the board. I'm not sending a second-round pick in on this guy. You got Trey McKitty there too, but I don't like Trey McKitty was a 5th-round dude. He wasn't that great. He was a really poor man's version of Trey McBride, like a really poor man's version. But the Chargers are still able to go other positions. Cornerback is certainly one of them. You still have Noah Daniels on the board. I know we've been kind of allergic to injuries since Jason Verrett. Yeah, Jason Verrett's been like that whole spiel, like his whole career. I feel so bad for the guy. But you do have Chris Harris Jr. here. If you wanted to go after a slot corner, wouldn't be a terrible idea. I just don't think that the corners are exactly in that bad of a position. With that being said, Noah Daniels' talent is undeniably amazing. So we're going to take Noah Daniels here out of TCU. I think he goes before a guy like a Caleb Evans or Nehemiah Pritchett. 85 with the Bears. The Bears, unfortunately, tackle's not looking too hot for us. So we're going to go Jamari Sawyer out of Georgia. Most likely going to be losing James Daniels. It's a great guy to slot in there, but also he has experience at both tackle positions. That's another big, big plus. 86 with the Texans. Another team that could have probably taken Noah Daniels. I think this team might go after Nehemiah Pritchett. Safety wise, again, there's just nothing really exciting on the board. I would look at offensive line. Lacisha Smith is here. If you want to move, what's his name? Oh, I'm bugging. The kid out of UAB, Titus Howard, back to right tackle. Probably need a guy to replace my guard. That's where Lacisha Smith could have came in. But we're assuming that Evan Neal is going to be the guy at the top of the draft. So I'm actually going to end up going a running back here, and that's going to be Breece Hall out of Iowa State. Yeah, I think that that's a really good addition. It's a good guy for this team, and you guys desperately need running back help. It's a way to continue developing your team into a big winner. 87 with the Broncos. So I think going corner is an excellent idea. You want a guy with a little more length, a little bit more speed. Nehemiah Pritchett is perfect for that. So you fix slot as well as boundary corner. I just don't know if any of the Fullers, if Fuller or Callahan are going to return. So that's why I'm patching that up right now. 88 with the Chiefs. Another team that could use a corner, which I guess that adds a little more justification to the Broncos. Safety would have been where I went, especially if Brandon Joseph were on the board. I don't think linebacker is as big of an issue as they think it is. Running back could be an issue. That's something that people need to start discussing, is that linebacker could be an issue. I think the secondary definitely could use some help, and that's why I'm going to trade back, because there are some really good talents left on the board. You got Weidermeyer here. You have some really good running backs. Zion Nelson's not going to come, but Nolan Smith's still on the board. Who's going to pick up Nolan Smith? And I actually want to see for one of these teams. You got Lewis Sign as well as David Ojabo, so no need for that. I was looking at the Cowboys potentially move up to take Nolan Smith because that'd be a really good fit. But trying to find a team that needs a 3-4 edge prospect, got one right here. I'm just saying, you got a really good option right here in the Titans, moving up to select a nice edge prospect for their team. And their second round pick went for Julio Jones. This honestly, it seems funny because these teams now have a rival, but that just might make the price a lot more. So we're going to be trading, not the Chiefs, but we're going to be having the Titans, whenever I could find them, trading up with the Chiefs, again, out of division. But for that, they're going to have to pay a hefty penny. We'll ask for a seventh in return. That's just the way it goes. Everybody has their price. And that is going to be able to help select Nolan Smith. He is a linebacker, also edge prospect, 235 pounds. Really good edge prospect out of Georgia. Another guy that could return. I just think Trevon Walker has a lot more potential than he does. Now for the Cowboys, this is a weird spot because I kind of want to go offensive line here, and I think I will. Lacisha Smith is a really damn talented, and he's going to be able to plug and play at that left guard spot. I think that that's your best option for replacing Connor Williams, and I think that's where you get it. Lacisha Smith out of Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech always knows how to develop interior offensive linemen anyways, so go with that. 90 with the Bengals. Interior defensive line is not great, but neither is it in this draft. I think tight end would be a good spot with a guy like Weidermeyer on the board. Let me know what you guys think about it, but I think it's just kind of, again, best player available. Really good tight end at number 90. Number 91, the Ravens. Another team that could be moving back. I think that they go with actually a really unique player. That's Cameron Thomas. I think that they add him to the squad. I really do. He feels more like a Raven than I like to admit. And I don't like guys who, I believe he's the leading pressure He has like the leading number of pressures in the country. I don't like that going into the AFC North as a Steeler fan. 92 with the Buccaneers. You guys kind of know where I'm going with this. I don't know why Kyron Williams is anywhere near the top of this draft. I'm going to be going a receiving back. And of course, it's going to be James Cook. I think that he is going to be getting picked round 3 or round 2. I don't think he escapes day 2. Really nasty back with unbelievable speed and great receiving ability. His brother, obviously, you guys know Dalvin Cook, makes a big impact as well. That's going to help him with that. Patriots are sitting here, and this is a good spot to look at another corner. I think Kobe Bryant out of Cincinnati gets snagged right here. A big contributor next to Sauce Gardner. And again, if you're in the room with Sauce Gardner all the time, it means that you're probably soaking up some knowledge from him. Green Bay, I think you have to go an edge prospect here. Isaiah Thomas might be the right guy on the board. You could go after Boye Mafe. I'm going to see them going after a crazy freak talent and Xavier Thomas being overdrafted for his athleticism. I believe he was actually coming out of, where is that? IMG Academy. There you go. He was like one of the top players in the nation. Like, he was ridiculous. So the potential is still there. This is a team that could probably get it out of him as well. A division with not amazing offensive lines. It's where you start. 95, we're back with the Chiefs. This could be another good spot to go a corner like a Caleb Evans. Really tall corner. Alontae Taylor, another really good player. I don't know where I'd go between these two. I like the build of it and Caleb Evans a little bit more, and it feels a little bit more what they get with like DeAndre Baker and stuff. So we're going to go Caleb Evans. I don't think there's any problem with it. Missouri, former Tulsa corner. I've liked him for a while, and I'm happy he goes here. Number 96 with the Cards. I think this is a good spot for a running back or a tight end. You could look at wide receiver. Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take one. And with AJ Green, A, never being healthy, but B, just not being himself, why not? Justin Ross. Number 97 with the Steelers. I believe, is this ending off the draft? No, we still got some picks going. This could, again, Zion Nelson, not going to be there. This could be a good spot to go after a guy like Max Mitchell here out of Louisiana. And if I'm not mistaken, they've already drafted Kevin Dotson out of Louisiana. So we're going to go the Louisiana connection. Max Mitchell going to the Steelers. Going to play right tackle. I believe he plays left right now. But, I mean, again, Louisiana knows how to make some really good blockers. Number 98 with the Lions. We already went wide receiver, I think, earlier this round. We're going to be going linebacker probably. DeMarvion Overshown might not have the size that you're looking for, but he also has the versatility to move to safety where you can replace Daron Harmon. I think that's worth it at this point. You're getting dudes in the middle rounds that are just extremely valuable. I like that. 99 with the good old Dolphinos. This is where we're going to get a running back. We need somebody to replace Malcolm Brown, and that's perfect for a guy like Isaiah Spiller out of Texas A&M. Rams, this is where we go offensive line as well. I think Rasheed Walker has been a guy who actually, Kellen Dyche, he's so light, though. He's 300 pounds. It's not 310. It's 300 pounds. Rasheed Walker might just be worth a little bit more. As a project, I think, honestly, they might just ask Whitworth to play one more year and take Rasheed Walker. I don't really like Kellen Dyche that much. I think he's worth maybe a round 4, round 5 pick. Obviously, if he gets selected, not going to complain too much, though. And Ravens sitting here, finally ending off the draft. I think tight end wouldn't be a terrible option. And they, of course, are going to be stealing a really good tight end in Greg Dulcich at a UCLA. Not ending off the draft because this is the last pick. Saints, I think that this could be a good spot to go another edge player to add to your roster. Or you go corner. And with Alontae Taylor on the board, I really do feel like he could fit in as a true boundary for this team. Really good depth in the third round. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.